Hi, this is Valerie Harris, e-commerce training for travel impressions. Thank you so much for joining me for this webinar, which is our book, Dedicated Vacation Flights and Quest. Hopefully you had an opportunity to listen to my prerequisite training. It's really a very important part of what we're going
Bad audio, so I'm gonna try and connect by dialing in. Yeah, she's having a bad audio day. Other people are singing
flights are dedicated to specific gateways and destinations. They are also specific and dedicated to a set schedule. These are not your everyday flights. So with the questions that have been asked about why certain dedicated vacation flights aren't available from certain gateways to certain destinations, it's simply because those destinations or gateways are not offered as dedicated vacation flights. So here's what's important about booking those flights in particular. The first thing I'm going to suggest you do when booking these dedicated vacation flights, as you see right here where my mouse is pointing, there's a link that says dedicated vacation flights. I want you to click on this. I want you to make a booklet, make a little guide for yourself and call it dedicated vacation flight. These special flights, as was suggested in the presentation, these are what are normally known in the old days as charter flights. Well, at Travel Impressions, we're thrilled we don't have to call them chartered flights, mainly because of the connotation that they had. What you're going to be able to do is sell these flights and explain to your clients they're dedicated to specific destinations and specific gateways on specific schedules. They don't leave from every gateway. They don't go to every destination. So here's what I'd like you to do. I want you to click on that link that I showed you, and I'll show it to you again. I want you to print this page. This page really goes over or summarizes what you heard in my presentation that you listened to before joining the webinar. That information is here for you. I also want you to click on this link that says Airline Baggage Fee for Dedicated Vacation Flights Only. I want you to click there and this page. Again, this page, because of these special flights, they have special baggage fees. Some of them and most of them are free. The first bag is free. Some of
Oh Lord, what is going on?
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Questions. These are questions that you probably have about these flights, but I hope I answered those questions for you because basically that's where I took all of this information to put in the presentation. Print this page as well. Then the last thing I'm going to ask you to print is the actual schedule from the departure city that you're using. Here, the little drop key, these are the only cities that these flights are departing and arriving from. So if you don't see your hometown city or the city that you want here, it's simply because the flights are not offered. The dedicated vacation flights are not offered from your gateway to any particular destination. So what I've had agents tell me they do, they've actually printed every single schedule. I don't know if you want to do that, but as my presentation offered, the information that's here shows you the exact gateway that these flights leave from, the destination they go to, the departure day that they operate, the number of nights that they operate, nonstop service that they offer, and the actual departure dates because, again, it's based on the schedule of these flights. and the airline. Okay? That's the important thing, because when you try to book these fantastic flights, you're going to find that they don't go to every destination. We're looking at Chicago. Chicago only has these flights to Cancun, Cabo San Lucas, in Liberia, which is in South America, Cozumel, Huatulco, Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Jamaica, and Panama, Puerto Vallarta, and Punta Cana. There's a lot of destinations that are not listed here. There's no Aruba. There's a lot of destinations that are not here. That's because these flights, these dedicated vacation flights, do not operate to those destinations from this gateway. You'll find there's a lot here for Chicago, but you go to another gateway and there may only be 2 cities or 2 countries that are offered. I clicked on Baltimore. Dedicated vacation flights operate from Baltimore to Cancun only on Saturday, and it's either a 7-night stay or 14-night stay, and here are the days of departure. It only operates to Punta Cana on Sunday, either 6 nights or 13 nights. So it's simply put, your client wants to go for 5 nights to Punta Cana or Cancun. They cannot take a dedicated vacation flight because they don't operate on those dates. So it's really important that you print the schedule that you want. Again, some agents, because they deal with clients all over the country, they've printed every single schedule, and then you make it like a little booklet, as I stated. Make it a booklet so that you have that information available and handy. And again, here's the link when you log in, or you can get this same link on our homepage. So you don't have to log in to get that information. Click here, print those pages that I recommended. Okay, let's talk about making and getting these very unique and specific flights. First of all, you need to know you're going to receive 5% commission on every dedicated vacation flight that you book. You can do seat assignments on these flights. However, seat assignments run between $9 to $15 each way. Okay? When you're booking dedicated vacation flights in particular here in Quest, remember, if you've been with me for our basic Quest training, maximum number of passengers you can book in Quest is 7. Well, that's still the case when you're booking dedicated vacation flights. However, the maximum number of adults you can book in one booking for dedicated vacation flights is 6. You cannot book 7 adults for dedicated vacation flights. The system won't allow it. 6 adults, and because the maximum is 7, you can put a child in this booking. 4 adults and 3 children on dedicated vacation flights. Maximum number of adults is 6. Okay? Hope that's pretty clear. So, when it comes to booking dedicated vacation flights in particular, there's a couple of things that you need to know. Now, I like to give examples, and that really helps you to understand how you use this information. So I'm going to give you 3 examples. The last example is the way in which I want you to book these flights. But I want you to see the other 2 examples, because you're probably going to say, well, why can't I do it this way? And I want to show you the reason that I'm going to show you the best way to get these dedicated vacation flights. Again, it's about the schedule. You should never be here to book dedicated vacation flights without that schedule booklet handy. So the first example I'm going to give you is for an agent that's trying to make a booking to get dedicated vacation flights, but they don't have the schedule in front of them. They think they're going to back their way into it. They figure, well, you know what? I just don't want to pull out the schedule and the booklet and all that good stuff. I think I remember seeing it on the schedule. However, here's the way they're going to see if they can back into getting these flights. So the first thing they're going to do, right here where it says air type, after filling in their occupancy in the trip planner here, they're going to select dedicated vacation flights. That's the way they're going to back into it. And the gateway that they're going to be doing is Chicago, okay? Now, they think the flight leaves on a Saturday or a Sunday. So they're going to pick a date. They don't have the schedule in front of them. They're going to pick a date that they hope this flight operates. So I put the 5th of June in here, which is actually a Sunday. So that may work. But again, we don't have the schedule. Let's see what happens. And the destination is going to be Montego Bay. Okay? We put the code there. Again, if you don't know the codes, use our destination button here. Now, the client said they wanted to go for 6 nights. Okay? I'm going to put 6 nights in that information there. And then I'm going to select a hotel or two, just so that we can slow the system down and not have to search every single hotel in Jamaica. So now, this agent does not have the schedule. They're trying to back into getting dedicated vacation flights by asking for them. Okay? Let's see what happens when I click the search button. Now, here's what we can get if you don't have that schedule in front of you. You're going to get an error has occurred. No charter value flights are available from the airline we searched. Please try a different search criteria. Now, here's what you've got to know about this message. As you heard in my presentation, dedicated vacation flights are the flights that we purchase along with Apple Vacation. So we're using the same exact inventory on the plane that Apple Vacation is using. We didn't buy a block of seats. No, we have the whole plane to sell to you. That's why dedicated vacation flights are fabulous for groups, okay? But because we're sharing the inventory of that flight with Apple Vacation, there's the possibility that the flight could be sold out. Okay, if the flight is sold out, even if you have the correct date and you ask for dedicated vacation flights and the flight is sold out, you're going to get this error message. So 2 things will return this error message. Either you have the wrong scheduling, the wrong dates, or maybe you have the right dates, but the flight is completely sold out. Okay, let's go back. All right, now, this agent says, okay, I got to get the schedule because obviously either I have the wrong date or the flight is completely sold out. So what the agent does is pull out the schedule. And what the agent found out, sure enough, the flight does leave on Sunday, but it only does 3, 5, 7, and 14 night rotations. So the agent has to ask the client, well, can you go for 7 nights? Well, let's say the client says yes. Okay? So I'm going to put 7 nights there because that's what's on the schedule. The agent had the right departure date. It does operate on Sundays, but the number of nights that the flight rotates was incorrect. So the agent still leaves dedicated vacation flights, puts the right rotation because the client agreed to it, and now we're going to click the search button. Now watch what happens. Remember, even though I have the right dates, the right rotation, I could still get that error message because I asked for dedicated vacation flights, and if it was sold out, I would get that error message. Well, it happens to be available. And here it is, dedicated vacation flights. Here's the airline, Extra Airways Flight 402. Here's your information. And as it states down here, seat assignments can be purchased on select dedicated vacation flights. We want you to call our center, our reservations department to get that information. But as I mentioned to you, the prices are going to range between between $9 and $15 each way. Okay. Now, here's the thing. There's my flight. It says that it's a dedicated vacation flight. Okay. Here's the price for air only, which means you can purchase just this dedicated vacation flight from Travel Impressions. It's going to cost $592.60. But because we have it as part of our vacation package, that's not the price. So hopefully you've been with me the last couple of, on yesterday's session for Basic Quest. I explained that to you. So first, let's go with the premises. The client says, okay, how much does that airfare cost? Well, I showed you how to figure out the air. You get your calculator out. The price of the airfare is included in our package. So therefore, you're going to put $1,740.60 in your calculator. You're going to go back to the top of the page, do land only, and then I knew that was going to happen. Sorry about that. Let me just go back. I clicked something that I shouldn't have done. Just bear with me. Sometimes my computer just acts up a little bit. And let's just try it again. It may do it again. I have a little glitch. Yeah. But that's how you would do it. My computer is it has a little glitch in it. But to get the price of the airfare, you just hit land only to get that price and subtract the land only price from the airfare. Now, this way is fine. It's absolutely fine. But suppose the client says, like I just said, extra airway, extra. I never even heard of that airline. What other options do I have? I mean, it's nonstop. That's fine. But what other carriers go, and why would I want to take that airline? Well, if you wanted to see other flights, you could very well go here to more suggested flights. Okay? But here's the thing. I asked for dedicated vacation flights. So there are 2 flights that operate. They're just different classes of service. So we have a lot of inventory. It's the same exact flight. You can pick from either one, but that's not giving me the answer the client wants. I asked for dedicated vacation flights. It was available, and that's all the information you're going to get. Only dedicated vacation flight information is here. So the last scenario is how I want you to book these flights. With your schedule in hand, you're going to pick the dates that the flight operates from the gateway that it operates to the destination. I want you to leave all flights because mainly if dedicated vacation flights are available, they return regardless of your search criteria. And in case the client says to you, well, what else do you have? I never heard of extra. I'm just curious. By leaving all, I have the proper gateway, the dates, remember, because of the schedule. When I click my search button now with my air type as all, I want dedicated vacation flights. That's what I want to offer the customer. But here's what I want you to see. The flight that's going to return, because it's available, and I won't get an error message because I didn't ask for dedicated vacation flights, but I'm going to read a statement to you that proves what we're just showing. I asked for all. Do you see right here? Dedicated vacation flights. Look at this statement. Dedicated vacation flights will be returned when available, regardless of your search criteria. So therefore, if you didn't even know there was a dedicated vacation flight for this destination, this would have returned mainly because they return as the suggested flight combination based on your search criteria. Okay? But the great thing is this. The client says, okay, what's this extra airways thing? What else do you have to offer me? Now, when I click more suggested flights, I have the ability to tell the client what else is available. So there are the dedicated vacation flights. They're at the top. However, Spirit Airways, they have connecting flights and they cost just a little bit more. Here's the price. How do I know that? Were you with me yesterday? Really simple. It says that this is the flight's price included. So all you're going to do is subtract this amount, $56, from this total and divide by 2. That's how much our dedicated vacation flights cost. But here's the thing. It may cost a couple of dollars more, but, or less, in this case, a couple of dollars less, but it's connections. It's Spirit Airways. If I scroll down this link, American Airlines has connecting flights. They cost more than our dedicated vacation flights. Every single carrier from Chicago to Montego Bay, Delta Airlines costs more than our dedicated vacation flights. But this is the information I'm able to provide my client. He says, well, okay, so that extra is the only one that has nonstop flights? The answer is yes. That's a dedicated vacation flight, and that's the information that you can provide. The client says, well, I don't know. I'm used to Spirit. It costs a couple of dollars more. It's a connection, but I just feel more comfortable using it. That's where you're going to be able to select what the client wants. We're not trying to push the dedicated vacation flights down the client's throat just because it's nonstop. This is a legitimate reason. What's Extra Airways? You could look it up on the internet and see what it is and tell the client to convince them. But because you asked for all, that's where you're going to find this gives you the ability to service your client with other flight options. You ask for dedicated vacation flights, this is all you're going to see. You're only going to have these flights. Great opportunity for sure. You get commission. You, the travel agent, you get commission on it. It's a non-stop flight. Great flight time. Let the client decide what they'd like to do. In this case, they're saving about $20, $23 each. It's cheaper, $23 cheaper per person to take the dedicated vacation flights. It's really that simple. So the client has to decide, and you can help them decide. There are wonderful dedicated vacation flights. There are JetBlue dedicated vacation flights, Frontier Airlines, Alaska Airlines, depending on the destination and the gateway. We can prove that very easily. I'll go up to dedicated vacation flights. It's not always these unknown aircraft. Okay, let's look at JFK. Here we have Aeromexico, very well known carrier. Let's try Boston. Iceland Air, everybody's heard of that airline. I'm trying to find one that we all, well, I think in Chicago too. Okay, let's just take a look. Frontier Airlines, there's that extra. Aeromexico, Copa Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Frontier Airlines. So it's really well-known carriers. It's not just these unknown aircraft that's being used. Most of them are brand new planes, nothing beat up, nothing broken down. But again, give the client the opportunity to decide what is it worth to them to go nonstop for about $23 more. It says here $56 cheaper. This Spirit flight is about $23 cheaper per person. So just take $23 or add $23 here, and that's how much your extra flights cost. Is it worth it to the client? If the client says, well, you know what, I'll give it a shot. What's the harm? Well, you never know, but let the client decide. That's why I want you to use all, have the schedule, and select the flights that come up. And dedicated vacation flights will always return regardless of your search, okay, if the flights are available. So I hope that made a little bit of sense to you. Dedicated vacation flights will return, but I want you to use the schedule to get that flight right away, right off. And the thing that's really great, if you leave all as your air type selection, put in the scheduled dates. If this flight is sold out, the Spirit flights would come up immediately, and you can still make a sale, okay? If you have any questions, I'm going to ask you to just type them for me now, and we'll see if that information has helped you a little bit. Any questions at all, just type it. Dedicated vacation flights are a wonderful opportunity. As you can see here in Chicago, as an example, every single airline, Delta, American, Spirit, they have no nonstop flights. They're all with connections from Chicago to Montego Bay. The only carrier that's nonstop in this particular case is Extra Airways, nonstop from Chicago to Montego Bay. Okay? I have a question here. Can you repeat the calculation to determine the price? Absolutely, Felicia. Really easy. It's not always this difficult, but all you have to do is just make sure. And again, I wish that my thing wasn't. Let me just try one more time. Just going to see if I can show you one more time with it. Because it says here that the flight is included in our package price, you would basically, all you have to do is take this amount and put it in your calculator, that per person amount that includes the airfare. Okay? Go to the top of your screen. I'm going to see if it's working. Do land only so that I can subtract the amount. Oh, please, please, please. It works. See, sometimes it gets a little glitch. So the land only price is there. Subtract this amount from the total in your calculator. That's how much the airfare costs. Okay? But to see how much it costs from the more suggested price, I'll show you that again. Okay? More suggested flight. So it's telling you that this flight, now, if you were with me yesterday, bulk fare and dedicated vacation flights, they're contracted flights. They can only be booked, bulk fare can only be booked with a vacation package. Dedicated vacation flights, we'll sell that air to you by itself. But due to compliance, we cannot show you the price in writing. We just can't. But you can figure it out. It says here the flight's price included in the package. Well, we don't know what it is, but we have a clue. Right here, this Spirit fare costs $529.41 per person. It says here, included flight price minus. That means this flight costs less. How much less? The total amount, you can take that as well. Add it. Simple math. If this flight costs more, you have to add this minus sign. Add it to this total and divide by 2 in this case. Or in this case, it's really simple. It's about $23 cheaper, this Spirit flight. It says minus. It's $23 cheaper than the dedicated vacation flight. So subtract $23. Nope. We're trying to figure out the dedicated vacation flight. I'm sorry, I'm just really, it's really confusing here with this minus, because most of the time it costs more. But this one is cheaper, so let's do that again. This Spirit flight is cheaper than the dedicated vacation flight. It's about $23 per person cheaper. So to find out how much the dedicated vacation flight costs, add $23 here. Add $23 to this total, and that's how much the dedicated vacation flight costs. Most of the time, this says plus, as it does right here. You see that? This American flight costs $108 more than the dedicated vacation flight. So you have to figure out how much the dedicated vacation flight costs, and I showed you the easiest way to do that is with that subtraction feature. Get the total cost of the package, do land only, and you'll see how much the airfare costs. Then for the American flight, you just add because it costs more than the dedicated vacation flight. Okay? Let's see what other question we have here. Is there a calendar on the site for webinars? Please share again. Yes, I'll show you that again, Vanita. So are we adding or subtracting from the total? Okay, we'll say it again, Vanessa. When you have the price, let's go back. You have the package here. This price, this dedicated vacation flight, the price of this air, which we don't know, okay, It's included in this total. The total of this package per person is $1,740.60. So that means the airfare is already in there. So you're going to put $1,740.60 in your calculator. You go to the top of the screen. You want to see land only because that means the airfare is not in that price. So the land only price is $1,316. Subtract this amount from the total that you have in your calculator. It was 1,700 and something. Subtract the land amount, and that difference is how much the airfare costs. It's that simple. Okay? Get the price of your air included in the package, and if the client wants to know what those other flights cost, simple. You already have the price of the dedicated vacation flight. You know how much it is now. This Spirit flight is because this is the total amount. It's not the per person. So you have to divide this by 2. So we're saying about $23 less. So just subtract $23 from the total that you have in your package, and that's how much your airfare would cost. But you already know how much the dedicated vacation flight costs. You did that subtraction in the beginning, okay? The dedicated vacation flight was $550 something. That's how much the airfare costs. But it's telling you right here, this Spirit flight is $529. So it's cheaper, okay? It's cheaper than the dedicated vacation flight by about $23. That's how you would sell this airfare to your customer. Get your airfare by subtracting the total, do land only. That's how much the airfare costs. In this case, it was like $553 for the dedicated vacation flight. When you come to more suggested, it's $529 for Spirit. So how do you sell that dedicated vacation flight? It costs more, $23 more. But where's the value to the customer? It's nonstop. It costs $23 more than the Spirit flight. Is that the value to the client? Is nonstop important than costing $23 more per person? That's how you sell that dedicated vacation flight. Can we book this package but be able to book an additional flight to get to the departing location? Meaning, can I book the vacation from O'Hare to the destination we are talking about, but add the flight to get them from Texas, for example? Absolutely, but not in Quest. You would have to book their flight, say, from Texas to Chicago separately. That's really a great example. You could book them from Texas to Chicago, make sure the flight gets there in time for the dedicated vacation flight. Then you could book the package using the dedicated vacation flight. Great example, Lindsay. Really good. Okay? You just can't book that Texas departure in Quest. You'd have to do that separately, maybe on the internet or something like that. Okay? Great. Excellent. Okay, let's go back and I'll show you where to find the other training sessions that we have. Anyone else have any other questions on these dedicated vacation flights? Remember, they're based on a specific schedule. So if you have a client that wants to go to Aruba, Aruba is not on any destination's dedicated vacation flight. We don't have dedicated vacation flights to Aruba. So you will not find them on any schedule. Okay? Great. These training schedules, you can find them underneath the agency menu when you log into Quest. See right here, it says training. Just click that link, scroll down, and right here, the sessions for all of the training is here for this week and next week. The link is here. You register for the time and the date that you want to join. March and April will be scheduled here once the February sessions are all completed. Okay? So you can take them as many times as you want. Just register again using this link that says training. Okay? Well, thank you so much. I hope this helped. I know it's a little confusing, but just take your time. Know that the dedicated vacation flights are really special and very well received if you use the trainings, the actual schedule for the flights. Don't offer these wonderful flights to your clients if you don't know what destinations they go to, what gateway they leave from. Make your booklet, get your guide together, and you're good to go. Okay? Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been helpful. My name is Valerie Harris. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care and hope to see you on some of the other webinars. Bye-bye.